North Pole any longer. All right, chat. Welcome to the stream. Hope we're doing well today. Welcome. We're going to get going right off the bat here. Straight away getting in with things. I don't have too much time today, and departure time is supposed to be about past, so I do want to crack on a little bit here. I hope we're all doing well today. Welcome to the stream. Swordfish, welcome to the chat. Thank you very much, dude. Yeah, I enjoyed making that one. I do love the FlyBe livery as well. And yeah, this aircraft just seems very photogenic. So yeah, big fan. Pilot Fisk, welcome to the chat, dude. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream. We're going to get cracking straight away, guys, right here. So at the moment, we are at we're at Birmingham on the ground. And we're going to be flying with FlyBe today in the JustFlight BAE 146 Professional once again. And we are going to be flying from Birmingham over to Jersey, which two of which are both bases that FlyBe used back in the day. Obviously, this is the old school FlyBe. FlyBe have just rebooted as an airline and are now flying again, but yeah, today we're going to be flying one of their older routes. This is actually a real route they used to fly, and we're going to be using the real flight number as well, which I managed to find online. So that's going to be the flight for today. Just bear with me 1 second. Right, okay then, chat. So before we get into the aircraft and start getting things set up, we are going to do a bit of a briefing. We're going to have a look at the OFP, and then we'll jump into the flight deck and start getting things configured for today. Okie dokie. So we are here in the fuzz pad and just going through the OFP initially. So we're going to be Jersey 514 is our call sign today. Bravo Echo Echo is the KO call sign for FlyBe. Date is the 5th of May, and we're going to be flying from Birmingham to Jersey. The aircraft type is a 146-300, BAE 146-300 of course, and the registration Golf Juliet Echo Bravo Charlie. We're going to be flying from Birmingham to Jersey, as I've just said. Expected departure time, pushback time, 14:30 Zulu, so in about half an hour, and we're expected to arrive at Jersey 15:38 Zulu touchdown time, and 15:46 back at the gate. Ground distance today is going to be 257 miles and 196 on the Great Circle. We're going to have a slight tailwind for today, which is nice. 7 knots, not much at all, but nevertheless a bit of a tailwind. Takeoff weight we're expecting to be 39.447, 37.68648 on the kilograms for the landing weight, and 34.517 for the zero fuel weight. Our alternate is Paris Charles de Gaulle, and we're going to be taking off at Birmingham up to flight level 300. Just SimBrief likes to put in the maximum flight level for this aircraft for whatever reason, but fine, no worries at all. Block fuel we'll need to order today is 5,157 kilos. Routing is going to be expected off runway 33 at Birmingham on the Umlux 1 Mike departure. And then we're going to transition on to our en route portion of the flight, which will take us Umlux November 92 to Itjon, November 862 to Scary, and then the Scary 1 Juliet arrival into Jersey, and we're expecting runway 26. Looking a bit further down at the weather situation, there's no MS Signets, tropical cyclone Signets, volcanic ash Signets in place. And the weather at Birmingham at 13:20 Zulu. We're looking at winds at 310 at 7 knots, variable between 260 and 350. Cav 18 degrees and 9 degrees on the dew point, QNH 1024. Weather at Jersey is looking a little bit more unsettled. Winds at 260 at 11 knots. This was at 13:20 again. Visibility over 10 kilometers. Now I'm not actually sure what this 2000W is. I'm not gonna lie. Let's just convert this into a readable format. There we go. So 4000W is the directional visibility. So visibility is 4,000 meters in the west. So we may need to pay attention to that. We've got this fog in the vicinity, a few clouds at 300 feet. Temperature is 14 degrees and 11 on the dew point. QNH 1026. And the alternate Charles de Gaulle winds are 330 at 10 knots, variable between 300 and 360. So fairly settled at Charles de Gaulle, although, you know, a little bit of wind there. All right, and then having a quick look at the charts. This is our routing for today. We will be arriving from the sort of northwest, so we may have slightly reduced visibility on the way in from the west. We do have some details here on the significant weather chart. However, not really going to affect us to a great deal. The winds are sort of northwesterly, as they usually are over the UK. So we could probably pay attention to this sort of section down here. Now, this is noting moderate to severe turbulence in that area. And OCNL, not going to lie, I've completely forgotten what that is. Occluded something, maybe. But that is between flight levels 450 and 170. It's very unlikely this will affect us. The wind is coming this way, but this is only a very short flight today, so it's unlikely that will actually reach over our current position by the time we are in the air. And in fact, tell you what, we're just going to look that up right now. So we're just going to quickly look this up very, very quickly. This is a great document, by the way, if you're not seeing this on the Met Office website. Okay, so yeah, it does mean occluded. Right. Now, it doesn't actually say what is actually occluded there. Maybe I'm reading that wrong, but nevertheless, we've got some pretty major turbulence in this area over to the left there. So we'll need to watch out for that. And I forgot my keybind for the pen. Yeah, this area here. Okay, so moving on, northwesterly wind we've already covered, so that will convert itself into a tailwind once we get en route, and our profile for today. Winds at our cruising flight level, looking at around about 30 knots-ish, roughly. But certainly varying. So that's the OFP then. Let's jump into the aircraft and get things set up and looked at.
I feel like I've spent my life pretending you're a great guy and trying to be like you.
Cars on Track, welcome to the chat. Valo, welcome to the chat also. Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to the stream. What add-on do I use for the fuzzpad? If you type in the chat, ! fuzzpad. That should work. That's a new command, so I'm not sure if it's actually going to work on there for me. Maybe it works in the chat. Okay. Okay, maybe my command doesn't work, but I did set up a new command for that today. But it's not an add-on as such, it's just an overlay for the stream. But I am on that, it's just displaying my second monitor basically, and on there I'm using mainly SimToolkitPro and Navigraph. Flight School should just accept you and give you a pilot job for free. Oh, thank you very much, fellow. That's quite flattering, but yeah, I can't see that happening. But yes, if you're enjoying this stream, guys, please do consider hitting the thumbs up button. I know we've only just got started, but let's get going. Now, Swordfish, like I say, I don't think that command, it doesn't seem to be working for some reason. I don't know why. I set it up earlier, but it doesn't seem to work. But I'll have another look at it, but I've just explained it to you anyway. DK, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, chat, let's jump in and start getting things set up. So, first of all, we'll go to the aircraft page, open the passenger door, and we'll wait for that to open. There we go, and we'll bring out the stairs. Get a nice little camera angle set up as well for the startup here. We're on live weather and time today. Right then, chats. Okay, we'll get the cargo door open at the front as well as the aft cargo. And that will do it. We'll get the ground power installed as well. And we might as well set up our weight and balance as well. So, zero fuel weight for today is going to be 34517. 34517. You have to ignore the camera movements. It's just because my cameras are bound to my number keys as well. Block fuel of 5157. $5157. Great stuff. And we'll set our trims accordingly. Righto, righto. We'll bring in our OFP as well. We might as well. And then this Navigraph thing doesn't seem to want to save my details here, but I'll just quickly log in so that we've got that available. I think they said they fixed that on a update, but it doesn't seem to have fixed it for us. Right, so at Birmingham, we'll bring up the 10.9 just so we've got it to hand. Great stuff. Okay then, fantastic. So we'll hide the fuzz pad for now, and we'll start getting the aircraft powered up. Let's make sure I've got a good amount of volume on here. The sim does seem very quiet. Let me just have a look at the volume mixer. Yeah, okay. It's just because it's quiet outside. All right, let's go then, chat. So we'll come up top initially. In fact, no, what we'll do is we'll check the air brakes are all the way forwards and the flap handle is 0, which it is. Check the parking brake is on, which it also is. Transponder is in standby. Gear lever is down. And then coming up top, we'll make sure all the fire handles are pushed in, which they are. We'll turn the nav light to high intensity, and then we'll come down and turn the battery on. So both batteries on. Nice little ding sound there. We're getting just over 27 volts, so that's fine. Battery is discharging. We do have external power available, so we'll turn that on as well. Then come back up over to the top. We'll turn on the, we don't need the logo lights today. We'll turn on this entry lights, no smoking signs to auto, cabin emergency lights to arm. We'll turn on all the master switches up here. Anti-skid can come on, and the lift spoilers, yellow and green, can come on as well. We'll do a quick test of the hydraulic system while we're here. So DC pump can come on. We'll run that up. I wrote BAE 148 instead of 146 in the thumbnail. Oh, I did. Great. Let's change that. There we go. So that's changed on YouTube at least. Can I change it on Facebook? Is it going to let me? Facebook is just a pain. There we go. Thank you for letting me know, though. And then on Twitch, let me change. Right. We should be good now. Okie dokie. Dazza, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Welcome, welcome. Mariner, welcome, dude. No worries at all. No worries at all. I literally just came on. It's a bit of a last-minute thing. All right, so DC pump is on and the hydraulic system is fully pressurized. We'll turn that off. We'll turn the AC pump on. That should then repressurize the yellow system, which it has, and then we'll turn the PTU on, which should also pressurize the green system. Which it is doing. Great stuff. So we'll turn the PTU off and the AC pump back off as well. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Coming further down. We will use the APU today, so we'll get that started up momentarily, but we'll turn the bus ties to auto and the inverters to arm. Sorry, the inverter and the standby generator to arm. We'll put the galley power on. APU generator we'll put to on as well when we're getting ready to start that. For when we get ready. Flight deck emergency lights can go to armed. Everything else is looking good. We'll set our pressurization for today all the way up to 8,000 again, as we did yesterday. We'll turn on the ice detection. Packs are off. APU air we'll put that on for when the APU comes online. And that should just about do it. Let's just have a quick look at the temperature. Cabin temperature is about 18 degrees at the moment. So, yeah, a little bit toasty. Oh, there we go. Right. We will get some air flowing through momentarily, though, and we'll start the APU. Right then, coming down, let's have a look at the FMC. So position is already initialized. We'll go index, route menu, and we'll bring in the flight plan. We'll execute that. That is all correct. Departure, we are expecting... Bear with me. The Umlux 1 mic. Now, I was going to try and do a VOR departure again for you guys, because obviously we did one yesterday. It didn't go entirely to plan, and since then I've done a bit of reading, and I feel like we could do it quite a bit better now. So the Umlux 1 mic is a RNAV departure. So I'll tell you what we're going to do is we'll actually change our departure route. Let's just see the first leg. So Umlux and then Luxto. if we do the Daventry, I'm sorry, I'm just looking on my second screen here. Yeah, so what we'll do instead is seeing that there's no one on a VATSIM, we'll do the Daventry 4 Foxtrot departure. And there's no one on VATSIM, so we'll do that. And then we'll just give ourselves a direct onto our en route portion of the flight. Bit strange routing wise, but it shouldn't be a big deal for us. What we'll also do as well is we'll bring Luxto to our first fix here, which should be a bit more of a smoother transition onto our en route portion of the flight. We'll brief obviously all of that once we get underway, once we've got the passengers on board, etc. Right, okay, so our arrival into Jersey is going to be this Scary 1 Juliet arrival onto runway 26. So we'll go ILS 26 and then Scary 1 Juliet. And then we'll use the Jersey VOR as transition. So we'll execute that. That's all in. We'll check for discontinuities. There are a couple. We'll do that. And we'll do that. And execute. Right, that's all good. All set there. So let's get the weather. So we'll go request. We'll go EGBB and EGJJ. Send that off. What we'll also do as well is we're going to use self-loading cargo. So we will... Oh my god, I've just messed it up. God damn. Self-loading cargo, where are you? Really? Come on now. I really hope they update self-loading cargo soon. It just... Oh! So clunky. Right. So, self-loading cargo. BAE 146. We'll import our flight plan from SimBrief. Departure time is in 10 minutes, so we're going to have to be a bit quick here. We'll start the flight. There we go. We'll go ready for boarding. And this is going a bit weird, isn't it? Huh. Okay, then. Okay, this is a bit strange. I'm just going to have to instant board all the passengers. Wow, okay, that's strange. Right then. Let's just see if I close the stairs. So if I bring up the stairs and close the door, is that going to stop this craziness from happening? I need to run the AC pump, don't I? Might as well close the cargo doors and the passenger door now as well, since though we have got everything on board. Come on now, stop it with the sound already.
Cabin crew, arm doors and test check.
Okay, I don't think self-loading cargo works properly with this add-on, so we're just going to ignore that. Right, okay then. So we've got the doors closed now. We might as well start the APU, get some air for the passengers going. So we'll go for pack 1 and APU air is on. Right, okay, great stuff. So we wanted the weather, didn't we? So we'll come down, look at the weather. QNH 1024, we'll set that. 1024 is set for us. That's fine. We'll turn the yaw dampers on. We'll power up the... Hello? TMS, there we go. Okay, we'll put it in takeoff mode. And the temperature outside is 18 degrees, which is already set. So we need 93% on the N1 for departure. And we are going to do a takeoff on... We'll do flaps 18 for takeoff because we've got quite a long runway here at Birmingham. So I'll click that. And that's going to set all our V speeds. Great stuff. So one thing I discovered earlier on today actually is that this will set your V speeds on the speed bugs here. It'll set the speeds in accordance with where the flap handle is at. So if the flap handle is at 0, it'll set them in accordance with flaps 18. But if you want to set for flaps 24 or 30, which I couldn't work out yesterday, you need to move the flaps handle and then it will set it. Another cool little thing I noticed as well today about the attitude indicator here. So you guys might be wondering why it's got the F and the S basically here. So this is actually saying fast or slow, and this little circle indicates how fast you are in relation to this yellow bug here. So this one that you can move with this knob here. So that's actually quite useful for obviously setting various different speeds and just having another reference to where you should be. Now, it's also quite useful for takeoff as well, because in this aircraft, you want to fly V2 plus 10 or just over that when you're on your initial climb out before thrust reduction acceleration. And basically, if you put this orange circle on the first line here, that means you're flying V2 plus 10 essentially. So this first line is 10 knots above the bug speed here, which the bug speed will be set to V2. So that's that. We'll turn on our radios and the DME. We'll turn on this radio on this side as well, which I forgot to do yesterday, something you guys might have noticed. Yeah, that was something I missed yesterday. We're going to set 6,000 feet as our stop altitude for the departure, and we'll arm that. Okay, I can't arm it yet. Fine. We'll set our squawk as well to 2,000. Come on, please. Now, I figured out the... you guys may remember yesterday I was looking for this light here. It's that switch that I just moved there. The console flood light. We'll set our call sign as well to... Oh, God. You need a very specific timing to get this to work. We'll get there in the end, chat. Oh my lord. Please. I'm just going to leave it. I'm just going to leave it, chat. It doesn't affect anything in the sim. These buttons are far too fiddly. We'll run the TCAS test real quick. Get the ADFs on.
TCAS system test, okay.
Right, that's good. We'll come up top. We'll just test the enunciators. All looking good. The APU gen is now available, so we'll turn the external AC off. We should have some air coming through as well. Righto. Come down here and disconnect the ground power. Right. Turn the TMS off as well. We'll do a quick test here. All looking good. And test these enunciators as well. All looking good. Right, okay, we are almost there. We'll get this radio and this radio on. Set this to 15 degrees up. We'll get some of the panel instrument lighting on, but we're not going to need too much today. It's very bright out. Okay, cool. I feel like I've missed something, but we're going to run the pre-flight checklist. So, flight deck safety, landing gear is down, weather radar off and 15 degrees up, standby on the transponder, air brake and flaps in and up, nav lights, high intensity, battery 1 and 2 on, parking brake, yellow and park, master switches all on, anti-skid on, lift spoilers, yellow and green, both on, AC and DC, bus ties are both auto, standby inverter is armed, generator is armed, generators 1 and 4 are both off and reset, APU gen is on, fuel pumps left inner. Did I actually turn that one on? I did, yes. APU is started, APU is stable, and APU air and packs are on. Landing gear indications, 3 greens, master warning system is tested and norm, overhead annunciators tested and norm, cabin emergency lights are armed, DC pump we've checked, AC pump and PT we've checked. Flight deck emergency lights are armed, yaw dampers are both on, oxygen masks we haven't actually checked, so I'll just do that real quick. We'll turn on the system. That's checked, and we'll turn it on at this side as well. That is checked. Okay, righto. So that is the pre-flight done. We'll have a look at our departure route for today, and we'll go ahead and get that set up. So we'll bring up the fuzz pads and have a look at that. See what you guys in chat are saying first of all. Smooth flying, welcome. Generic pilot, welcome. Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to the stream. Nipper, welcome to the chat. Repositioning flight and throw about a bit. Yeah, I mean, this is one of the old routes that FlyBe used to do, actually. DK says, was it hard to learn all the systems? I mean, it's just a different way of doing things, I suppose. I mean, it has got a lot of similarities with other airliners. But I think the flows and remembering what switches to press and when are probably the hardest to learn, but this is only the third flight I've ever done it in, so I guess take from that what you will. Hey Ramsey, welcome to the chat, dude. Hope you're doing well. Welcome. Alright then, so let's have a look at our route for today. So we're at Birmingham, UK, and this is the 10-9. Echo Golf Bravo Bravo, airport elevation is 339 feet. We're currently sat at the main terminal, and we are at stand 8 right here. We are going to depart runway 33, so we're going to push back facing to the south. We can expect that, and we're going to go Delta and then Echo. We'll come down Echo, down Sierra, and on to the runway. We're then going to depart on runway 33. This is the Daventry 4 Foxtrot departure off runway 33. Now, this says when Birmingham radar not available, which they are not. However, I wanted to do this one because it's based on ground-based nav aids rather than using the sort of FMS. So basically, we did this yesterday at London City, but I kind of mucked it up a little bit, and I've figured out some tricks that we can use that will help us fly this more efficiently. So this is Daventry 4 Foxtrot. Transition altitude is 6,000 feet. This stuff is not actually relevant to us as we do not have any ATC online. This is the 10-3 kilo. And we do have some minimum climb gradients to make. Now, the route itself is actually going to take us out on runway heading 327. We'll use the localizer DME 110.1 identifier India Bravo Mike. We'll fly runway heading until 2 miles or 830 feet, whichever is later. And then we'll take a right turn to intercept the radial 189 from the Trent VOR, which is on 115.7. And that inbound course is going to be 009. Once we reach the 26 miles from the Trent VOR, we'll then initiate a right turn to 118 degree track, at which point we'll fly that track until we intercept the radial 327 from the Daventry VOR, which inbound is going to be 147. When we reach the 323 degree radial, when approaching this track, we need to be between 5,000 and 6,000 feet. Then we'll fly outbound at and required altitude 9 miles from the Daventry VOR is 6,000 feet. We should look to intercept that radial as well at 27 miles from the Daventry VOR. No turns below 830 feet. And that is the departure. So let's get that set up in the flight deck, and I'll show you guys how that's going to work, because this is really very, very similar to what we flew yesterday out of London City. We've basically got the localizer for DME, and then we've got a turn onto a VOR radial and using the DME, and then we've got another turn onto another radial. So that's very, very similar to what we did yesterday, and I'm going to show you how we set this up. So the way I did it yesterday, it did work. I did make some mistakes, but it will work this way as well, and I think this way is actually more efficient. So I'll show you that in just 1 second. Hey, Biggles, thank you very much for the £2 tip. Much appreciated. Very, very kind of you. Andy, thank you very much for the follow on Facebook. And Nipper, thank you very much for the 50 stars on Facebook. Much appreciated. Very, very kind. Right, so let's have a look then. So we are going to need to use the localizer DME initially off the runway. So runway heading, we're going to fly 327. So we'll set our heading bug, which is going to be like so. Let's see, is that about right? It's quite difficult to see on this CDI. That's 3-3, 1, 2, 3. That's 327. That is set. And then what we're going to do is we're going to tune the localizer in the radio here. So we're going to tune 110.1. And that should pick up the localizer. There we go. So that's picked up the localizer, and as you can see, it shows the DME. Now, what we want to do is we want to use DME hold, because we don't actually want the localizer tuned whilst we're flying this procedure. We only want it for the DME, so we'll go for DME hold. That's going to give us that green light there, and it's basically going to hold the DME in this nav1 slot here, in the DME1 slot. Now, the issue I ran into yesterday was that I held the DME, and it held the DME here as well, so I didn't really have great situational awareness coming onto this first turn, because it basically holds the DME in nav1 basically. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to tune this first VOR into nav2 instead of nav1 like I did yesterday. So I'm going to tune 115.7 on nav2 here. And that might not get identified yet because it is a bit of a distance away. But what we're going to do is we're going to set that there, and we're going to set the inbound course of 009, like so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set nav2 on the CDI for the left-hand side as well. So when that gets picked up, I'll see the mileage, and I'll also see the deviation from the course there. What I'll also do as well is we're going to tune the Daventry VOR. We're going to tune that on the left side here because we don't really need that just yet, because we're going to pick that up later on the route. So it's not quite so critical that we have this DME overwriting what is picked up here on the Nav1 radio. So as you can see, I've just switched the frequency there and the DME has stayed, but you may have noticed the indications for the localizer disappeared. So we're just holding the DME there. So we'll go 116.4. And again, that might not get picked up. Let's see. Oh, it has got 0.7 miles. That's not right. 116.4. Okay. No, that's still showing the DME for the localizer, isn't it? So that's not been identified either because, again, it's a bit of a distance away from us. But we want an inbound course of 147. Like so. So we'll put nav2 there. And that is all set. Great stuff. Okay, fantastic. So all I need to do now is, once we've departed, once we get past this 2 miles and we've initiated our turn and we're flying inbound to the this fix here, DME 26 Trent. Once we're flying on this course inbound, what I can do is I can then flick off the DME hold there. I can put it to on. And then what that's going to show me then is the DME to Daventry in DME 1. And then DME 2 will obviously be showing me the Trent DME. Obviously, we've got Nav 2 selected here. So Nav 2 is going to be used on this CDI, and it's going to be used by the autopilot. So once we take this right turn, we'll do that on heading mode. We will then switch to Nav 1 and then intercept this radial over here. Hopefully that makes sense. But you should see it all in action fairly shortly. Okay, so that's all good. Let's get going. Can we arm the altitude yet? No, we can't. I thought you could do that whilst you're on the ground. Oh, you need to turn the flight directors on, don't you? There we go. Alt arm, and for our initial climb out, we will just use... We'll use heading mode, why not? Because we've got runway heading set. And then we'll set a vertical mode once we get underway. I just noticed that there is actually a VNav button here, which I didn't notice before. Interesting. Wonder how that one works. Might try that on the descent, actually. See how it works. Right, oh right. Maybe that's for flying RNAV approaches, potentially. Okay then. So, let's do our before start flow. So, all the hydraulics are off. Brake fans, I can't remember if they come to auto yet or not. We'll leave that off for now. Beacon light will turn on last. Let's get all the fuel pumps on. Generators are off except for the APU, that's fine. APU is on. Start switch is in norm. Start master is off. Everything else is off. The engine on the engine anti-ice can come on before the engine starts. And we'll also turn on the heaters. Seatbelt signs can come on as well. I'll turn the beacon light on. Right. So before start checklist. Departure briefing is complete. Brake pressure we have not checked, but it is about 3,000, so that's good. Hydraulics are all off. Fuel center transfer, we'll put that to auto. We don't have anything in the center tank, but we'll do it anyway. Ice detection is on. Fasten seatbelts are on. Fuel quantity is checked. Altimeters are set and cross-checked. Master warning ground op switch is reset. Speed bugs are set and doors equipment are closed and removed. Great stuff. So we'll continue on with this checklist. Beacon light is on. Packs and APU air. We'll actually turn those off for the engine start. Engine anti-ice is on, fuel pumps are on, TMS is off, engine start power is in norm, and engine start master switch we'll put to on in just a second. So the heaters don't actually come on yet, do they? So I'll actually turn those off. Right, let's do it then, chat. So we'll get pushback. And we are on VATSIM, so we will need to do some bits on Unicom. I think I can hear another aircraft somewhere. Birmingham traffic, Jersey 514, stand 8 is pushing back. And we're going to go for runway 33, Birmingham traffic. Right, let's pre-plan the pushback. We are a little bit late at setting off, 10 minutes. So we're going to come straight back. And then take a turn like so. Quite a long pushback this, isn't it? We'll come back like that, press enter, and we'll request pushback.
This is ground, stand by.
Ah, there we go, there's a TUI right there. Looks like a Boeing 787. Very nice. He should be able to go around me though, if he goes down here. APU sounds that we didn't hear yesterday. It's quite quiet. You can't really hear it over that other aircraft, to be honest. We'll get the chocks removed as well. Oh, the forward service door is open.
Pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Birmingham traffic, Tom Jet 8, Whiskey Victor, taxi runway 33 via Whiskey Delta Echo.
He's going Whiskey Delta Echo. Okay.
We are cleared for start and push.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Parking brake is released.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
Yeah, so he's going Whiskey, Delta, and then Echo. Yeah, so he's going to go around me, basically. That's absolutely fine. Great stuff. What a lad. Okay, so let's start the engines. Right. So start power is in norm. Start master is on. And we're going to start engine 4 first. Going to wait for 10% on the N2. Oops. There we go. Number 4, fuel. Let's start the fuel flow. The engines start fairly rapidly in this thing. There we go. That's stabilized. Let's go for engine number 2. Wait for 10% on the N2. There we go. Fuel flow. The animations on the spinners in the engines, on the fan blades, not too great in this. You can see it's kind of stuttering a bit. Not really too much to see in there, to be quite honest. I think the most impressive thing is just the heat blur, but that's a Microsoft Flight Simulator thing anyway, isn't it?
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Parking brake is set.
Brake set. Lowering aircraft.
Ground. You may disconnect.
Oh, that's a bit of a dodgy pushback, isn't it?
Pin has been removed. See you at the side. Have a good flight.
Holding position, waiting for the visual. Thank you and goodbye.
Right, engine 3 is stabilized. We'll go for an engine start on number 2.
Birmingham traffic, Tom Jet 8, Whiskey Victor taking off 33.
%, on the N2. Very quiet inside this aircraft. So quiet. Toolbar would have been used in real life. Yeah, probably. It's just obviously Microsoft Flight Simulator cannot really do that. Echo, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, good afternoon to you, generic pilots. Dazza says, I bought this lovely bird last Friday, only for my motherboard to pack up Saturday, so waiting for a new one to arrive. Ah, man, that is super unfortunate, but god damn. Hopefully it doesn't take too long and it's not too much of a pain to put back together. Alright, so that engine is stabilized. We'll go and do engine 1 now. Bit of flicker on the lighting there. Waiting for 10% on the N2s again. There we go. Oh god, what did I just do? There we go. Okay, so we've got fuel flow. N1 rotation. Light off. Very good. Very nice. Okay, so like I said, chat, we're going to do the departure using the ground-based nav aids initially, and then we're going to transition to our FMS data once we've done that. Right, okay, there we go. 4 good engine starts there. Let's get the starter master off. We're going to leave the APU on for now. We'll get both generators online. We'll turn the pack 1 on and the APU air on. We'll leave the engine air off for now. Coming further up, we'll turn the engine 2 and engine 3 pump on. Can't remember if the AC pump comes on for take. Oh, it's already on anyway. And then we'll turn the PTU on as well. I'll put the AC pump in auto. Brake fans can come to auto as well. And we'll turn all of the heaters on now. Anti-ice can come off. And we'll set our transponder to TA. And we'll do our after start checks. So start power is normal, engine start selector and master both off, engine anti-ice is off, Gen 1 and 4 both on, brake fans auto. Engine 2 and engine 3 hydraulic pumps are on, AC pump, PTU auto and on, heaters are all on, APU air and packs are on. Engine air is off, TMS is on, we'll set that on now. And in takeoff modes, transponder is TA, taxi lights and brakes will do on the initial rollout there. Great stuff, we'll do a flight controls check whilst we're sat here. They're all good and free. And on the rudder pedals as well, all looking good. Righto, let's see what we've got down here. Just parking brake on. We never set our flight number down here as well, did we? So leg 1, and then we're going to be 514. There we go. I don't think that ground check works. Probably one of the only tests that I haven't seen working in this aircraft. Okay, cool. We'll set our flaps to flaps 18. We're going to do an flaps 18 takeoff, we said, didn't we? So parking brake is released. Let's get underway. One thing that I didn't say yesterday that I forgot to say even about this aircraft is the ground handling. It does feel a little bit what's the best way to put this? It does feel a little bit like Microsoft Flight Simulator, if that makes any sense. It just feels a little bit cartoony and a little bit sort of, I don't know, it's just very easy to move it on the ground, if that makes sense. If you compare it to, say, the A32NX or any aircraft in X-Plane, you can really sort of tell the difference. Birmingham traffic, Jersey 514, taxiing to runway 33, Birmingham traffic. It does roll nicely on the ground though. It does move quite nicely. It doesn't get stuck to the ground like some of the default planes. But it just feels very, very sharp in the way it turns. I don't know how to describe it really. It just doesn't feel like it has any sort of inertia or anything to it. Which I imagine it would do. It's not exactly a light aircraft. 40 tons currently. Lil Pop, welcome to the chat. Good afternoon. Hope you're doing well. Okay, so here's the holding point for runway 33. Let's just break down to a complete stop here. Bit fast on that corner there. Parking brake is set. Looking very nice indeed, though. Right, okay, so before start checklist, or before takeoff checklist, sorry. Brakes are checked and yellow. I'm just going to double check that. There we go, yellow is selected. Flight instruments are checked, flight directors are on. Trims are set and checked. Config test. That's probably the parking brake. Yep, there we go. Good test there. Continuous ignition A and B is not required. Cabin is secure. Actually,
cabin crew, please take your seats for takeoff.
And then once we get the cabin secured, this will flip over on its own. I don't know if you guys noticed that yesterday.
Cabin is secure.
There we go. We'll get the transponder to... We'll set the TCAS to above. We'll turn the weather radar on. Okay, so cabin is secured, weather radar is on, landing and strobe lights will turn them on as we enter the runway. TMS is on and in takeoff mode. Flight controls are unlocked and free. Master warning system is checked. Right, okay. Right, let's get ready to go, guys. Birmingham traffic, Jersey 514, lining up runway 33. Birmingham traffic. Am I flying on offline? We're flying on VATSIM, Alex. Welcome to the stream. Graphics are still insane. Yeah, it does look very good, doesn't it? I think just when you put the sort of the depth of field effect on the drone camera, it just makes everything look so much nicer. It just looks super, super good, doesn't it? Right then, parking brake is released. Those VORs are still not identified, but yeah, I'm not expecting it really till we're in the air. We get the landing lights on and the strobe lights on. I love the sounds on this. So good. You can hear the roar of that air coming out the engines when you switch the camera around. So good. Nice long runway here at Birmingham, unlike London City yesterday where we nearly ran out of runway. Right, okay, so ready to go. Holding it on the toe brakes. We're going to come up to takeoff power.
TMS sets takeoff.
Going to turn the volume up a little bit for you guys, and we'll turn the music down. And we'll come up to takeoff power. There we go. TMS has grabbed it. Let's let go of the toe brakes.
Power set, flex achieved.
Takeoff power is set.
Speed alive, both sides. 80 knots, cross-checked. V1. Rotate. V2. Positive rate of climb, gear up.
Gear's coming up. Gear cam doesn't work quite so well on this aircraft. Alright, syncing the flight directors. I'm going to climb to 1,000 feet. Oh. Bit bumpy. 2 miles and then we're going to take a right turn to join this radial. So at 1.7 miles, we are going to lower the nose now as well to accelerate. 2 miles, we'll take a right turn here. And we're going to bring the thrust back slightly. We are accelerating now. 88 on the N1.
VFTO, safe height speed, select flaps.
Flaps selected up. We'll put in Vorlock. Oh dear. That nose came right down then when I was bringing the flaps there. So we're about 220 knots now, so I'm going to pitch the aircraft back up. We're just coming onto that radial now. And I'm going to go about there, I think. I'm going to go sync. Engage the autopilot there. Go indicated airspeeds. Let's see where we're at on the speed. We are a little bit quick, so that's not really the speed I wanted. I wanted 220 knots for the initial climb out here. We can turn off the DME hold now. And we should be climbing out on that radial. Yes, we are. Great stuff. Looking good. 26 miles from the Trent VOR. We need to take a right turn. So I'm actually going to resync the heading bug here. And we're going to go to heading. This DME is counting down. So when this gets to 26, we're going to take our right turn. going to bring the power back slightly. I'm not going to continue my climb just yet because I want to just get established on this right turn. So we're now going to turn to 118. I think that's about 118. Right, okie dokie, and we'll then switch to nav 1. So at 27 miles from the Daventry VOR, we want to intercept the inbound radial there. We're probably going to intercept it a bit further away in this instance, though, looking at the charts there. That turn radius on the chart is very, very small. Beautiful. So yeah, looking at the charts, we are a little bit wide here, but like I say, this turn radius is very small, so we're never going to be able to fly directly on the line here. So what I'm going to do is we're going to start intercepting that radial, so we'll carry on turning to the right. We'll set a new altitude as well whilst we're here, so we'll set our cruising altitude at flight level 300, sorry. We'll arm that. And now we're flying inbound towards the radial. We're on a very shallow intercept, but we are quite close to it, so I'm just going to let it fly this heading for a moment. And then we should intercept momentarily. This is coming in very slowly. But it is coming in. Let's go to Vorlock now. And we'll go to sync on the autopilot. I'm going to add some power and pitch up. So I'm flying this manually now whilst we sync the autopilot. I'm going to go to 250 knots, in fact. There's no point in slowing down to 220 now, seeing as though we've already got that energy. And then we'll go sync. Autopilot is back in now, and we'll go indicated airspeed. We're actually at 240 knots, so that'll do. Usually you climb at 220 in this aircraft until 10,000 feet and then 250 after that, but we're going to go a little bit in between here, why not? Standard is set. And there we go. We're flying outbound we're flying inbound to the Daventry VOR, and there we go. That's how you do the ground-based nav departure. That's how it should have gone yesterday. It went much smoother on this one. Granted, the level off is much higher up on this one, so it's a little bit easier to manage, but other than that, that's how you do it. So, we'll do after takeoff flows. We'll turn both packs on. APU air can come off, engine air can come on now. And, oh, that should have been off anyway. Let's have a look at the checklist. I've forgotten. So, climb checklist. Altimeters are set. PTU and AC pump. Oops. We want to do after takeoff first, don't we? So, after takeoff, landing gear is up, lights out, flaps are up. TMS is... Oh, it's still in takeoff mode. We'll actually put that into sync now. Engine air is all on, APU air is off, packs are both on, and we'll check the pressurization. And the cabin is pressurizing. That is looking good. So climb checklist, altimeters are set, PTU and AC pump can come off. APU will stop that as well. And fasten seatbelts can come off after 10,000 and lights as required. Climb checklist complete. We're just over 10,000 feet now, so we'll get the landing lights off and the fasten seatbelts off. There we go, chat. Oh. We had a bing then. It was just the APU powering down. We're good. Okay, fine. No worries. There we go, chat. Beautiful stuff. See what I mean about those sounds? Absolutely fantastic. Okay then, chat. So there's hardly any traffic on VATSIM and there's no controllers on here at the moment. So I'm actually... There's no point in flying out all the way to the Daventry VOR. So what I'm going to do is... I might just give myself a bit of a shortcut here, actually. We'll give ourselves a bit of a shortcut and we will go direct to Skerry, which is our first en route... our initial approach fix, basically. So we'll stick that... I think what we'll do first of all is we'll go to RNAV, LNAV. That should keep us on our current heading, more or less. Oh, it's actually giving me a turn. Alright, so I'll drop Skerry in and execute. Should give us a nice little right turn. Look at that, though. That is nice. Okay. Great stuff. Let's see where we are on the map. Yep, there we go. So heading straight down towards the Skerry waypoint. We're on LNAV now. And we've just given ourselves a little bit of a shortcut there, which is not too bad at all. Fantastic stuff. Let's see what we are on the N1s. We can probably bump the N1s up a bit. We are at 15,000 feet now, so extra 1% per 5,000 feet. So we'll add 3 to 88 and we'll go to 91. It's very difficult to set it precisely, so we'll go to 92. Keep that climb rate up. Alright then, chat. How was that departure? That was much smoother than yesterday, wasn't it? Let's see. Let's see. Jivan, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. Yes, this is Microsoft Flight Simulator. Your laptop could not support it, but you bought it. Oh, man, that sucks. Did you not check the specifications before you bought it? Nerd6 says, I love this plane, it's gorgeous and fun to fly. Yeah, it really is, really is. I'm really enjoying it, actually. It's great fun, actually. It is really, really great fun. And yeah, it's just beautiful playing, isn't it? Hinchy, thank you very much for the follow on Twitch. Neckbeard, thank you very much for the sub on YouTube. Luigi and JHF Vandeven, thank you very much for the subs on YouTube. Also, I hope you guys are well and having a great day. Welcome to the stream. Fantastic views, though. Very flat on this in the south part of England. So as you can see, we've got 138 miles to go till we get to our fix at Skerry. So quite a ways to go yet. 242 miles to Jersey. ETA in about 44 minutes. Hopefully be a bit quicker than that, but we'll see how it goes. What I'm going to do is, well, for the level off is our cruise speed should be somewhere around Mach 0.68. Okay, we can't really set that yet. So we'll leave our speed here. And as you can see, guys, when I move this bug here, you can see this little donut moving up and down. So this is in relation to this bug. And we're currently flying about 240 knots, 241 even. And there we go. If we wanted 250 knots, you can see we're a bit slow for that. So it's just a nice way to sort of look at this, very, very quickly see how fast you are in relation to the speed that you want to be at. But like I say, for the climb, I might as well just leave it at 240 knots for the rest of the climb. Like I say, I think the procedure normally is to 220 knots to 10,000 and then 250 to your cruising altitude, but we're going to go 240 knots here just to simplify our workload, basically. What a beauty. What a beauty. Look at that. Lovely stuff. Honestly, though, I can't get enough of the cruise camera, the drone camera at the moment, though. I just love how when you put the depth of field on, it kind of gives a bit of a vignette, as well as giving a blurry background, and it just makes the sim look so good. Got the PBR over the wings there. You can see all the little bits of dirt and stuff reflecting the light in a slightly different way. It's just ridiculous. Still no controllers on, but no issues at all there. We're going to be flying into Jersey today, guys. I've picked up the UK2000 Scenery for Jersey, so it's the first time I'll have seen it today, so we'll have a look at that, and it should be quite cool. Mr. Nice Guy, welcome to the chats. Says the autopilot on this plane doesn't seem to work for me. In what way do you mean it doesn't work? It is quite a basic autopilot, but in what way is it not working? Mariner, no worries at all, dude. Thank you very much, and have a good afternoon, mate. Great stuff. See Bristol just over there, somewhere down in this area. Very good. Looks like there's an airport down there, just down here. Right then, chats. How are we doing today? How are we doing? We're approaching our cruising flight level 300 now, so I'm going to bug this up. We're actually going to cruise at Mach 0.7 today, I think. Go a little bit quicker. I think the SimBrief profile actually uses Mach 0.7 as well, so if we look on the OFP here and the output, it's a little bit skew with here, but cruise sys Mach 0.72 there. So we'll do that. Let's see, we're approaching top of climb. Fuel used, we've used about 800 kilos of fuel. Let's have a look on the SimBrief profile. Let's see how much it would have expected us to use by top of climb. Let's see how it matches up. Okay, it's very difficult to read using that. I will check. I'll check using my other screen. Top of climb, it says we should have used 1.4 on SimBrief. Interesting. And we did take a longer departure route as well. Should said we should have used 1.4 tons. We've used 0.8. So that's interesting. Maybe not perfect then on the fuel burn on compared to SimBrief. There we go. We're leveling off and we are speeding up. Right, did I set that to Mach 0.7? I set it a bit higher, didn't I? There we go, Mach 0.7 is there. So we can now pay attention to this little donut. If we ever need to look at our speed, how fast we're going, we just need to look there again. So bring the power back now. It's probably a little bit too much. Okay, we're at 82.1 N1. That seems to be slightly accelerating us, but not too much. We'll leave it there for now and we'll fine tune. I think probably maybe 81% might be good for Mach 0.7. We shall see. All right, chat. How are we feeling today? Yeah, this aircraft just seems to just look so good in the sim, doesn't it? So freaking good. Approaching the coast of the UK now, and we're going to head over the channel and down into Jersey. Great stuff. Okay, so we can have a look at our arrival then into Jersey. So let's jump back over to the fuzz pad and we'll have a look through the charts for that. I'll just get them ready for you guys, so I'm not faffing. Pretty short runway at Jersey, so no room for floating. Right, so over to the fuzz pad. Let's see how we get in on. So we're going to do the Scary 1 Juliet. Scary 1 Juliet into Jersey. Let's just check the METAR again real quick. Winds are 27011, so that works great for us. Okay, so this is going to be the arrival into Jersey, UK, page 10-2A, and the ICAO is Echo Golf Juliet Juliet. Airport elevation 277 feet at Jersey, and we're going to do the Scary 1 Juliet on to runway 26. So this is quite a complicated looking chart here, but it's not too bad, I don't think. So it's quite simple actually. At Scary, we're going to fly on track 138, like so, for 60 miles, 64 miles even, inbound to the Jersey VOR. So we could actually fly this using the ground-based nav aids. As you can see, we've got a VOR here, and we also have this fix is actually also identifiable by ground-based nav aids. So you can see from the Bravo Hotel Delta VOR on 112.05 on the radial 153 at 26.9 miles. That is where Scary is located, basically. And that the Bravo Hotel Delta is a VOR that's not on this chart. But nevertheless, you've got all the information you need there. But we're just going to fly it using the FMS because the arrival is busy enough as it is. So we're going to fly in from Scary down to Jersey. That's it. It's quite straightforward. And upon reaching Jersey, we're then going to transition on to the ILS. So that goes like this, basically. This is going to be the... let me check I've got the right charts. I do indeed. Right, so this is an interesting one. It's a VOR ILS DME for runway 26 at Jersey, page 11-3, and again, Echo Golf Juliet. Juliet. Localizer frequency is 110.3, and the final approach course is 263. Airport elevation is 277 feet, and runway elevation 272. MSA for the whole area is 1,900 feet. Transition altitude we're going to use as 5,000 feet, even though the transition level would be the one we would use. Obviously, the ATC isn't online to give us that, so we're going to use 5,000. So basically the procedure, looking at the plan view, is to come into the Jersey VOR, fly outbound on the 124 radial, and then we're going to take a left turn in towards the ILS, capture the localizer, and then descend on the glide slope once we return to the Jersey VOR, basically. So you can see that here. This is the VOR. We're going to fly outbound and then turn around, come back in. We need to be at 2,000 feet as the platform altitude. And then we're going to intercept the glide slope here, the final approach fix. And descend on the glide slope, which is a standard 3 degrees. It's going to give us a 5.5 mile final. So we might fly this final bit just using the ground-based navigation rather than the FMS, because I'm not sure exactly what the FMS is going to do when it comes to this turn here. So I'm not sure if I trust it to do that on its own. So we'll set that up in a moment. But once we arrive at the Jersey VOR, we need to be 3,000 feet and then descend to 2,000 for this final part here.
Traffic, Swiss 24 Tango on a 20-mile final now, runway 26, exit traffic.
Just going to turn that down. And our decision height is going to be 200 feet for this approach. Okay. And then once arriving at the airfield, we're going to come in at runway 26. We'll exit either at Delta or Echo and then just taxi to the main terminal here. Very, very straightforward. It's a very small airport, is Jersey. So no issues at all there. There's no restrictions you may have noticed on the arrival itself. So no speed restrictions except for obviously 250 below 10,000. And no other altitude restrictions or anything like that. So it's fairly... I guess it's a fairly not too busy airspace, let's say. Right, so let's get that set up. Come back over into the flight deck. We'll bring up the charts here on the sim. Right. Let's just make this a little bigger. In fact, no, we'll leave it small. So, for the arrival here, we're coming in. You can see we're just coming in towards Skerry now. And we're going to take that left turn automatically. It'll do that on its own. We do need to descend to 2,000 feet as platform altitude. So... quick calculation, 3 times 3 is 9. That makes 90 miles plus 10, 100. We're going to need about 100 miles to descend, so we'll start our descent in around about 20, just over 20 miles. Although that doesn't actually look right to me. I'm actually going to start my descent now, just in case. I'm not sure if I trust this FMS. Tell you what we can do as well, just to back it up. We can tune the Jersey VOR on 112.2. And it's not picked it up. Okay. Might not have the greatest reception on it. Maybe let's try... we'll try on DME2 actually. 112.2. We can put this back to split now as well. Okay, no, it's not picking that one up. So maybe try Guernsey, 109.4. No, it doesn't seem to pick that up either. Oh no, it has. 50 miles. Yep, okay, so I think... if we start our descent now, that's probably going to be advisable. So let's go ahead and do that. So we'll set our altitude selector down to 2,000 feet. We might as well set it all the way down there. No controllers on or anything. And we'll arm that. I'm going to idle the power and come back to 250 knots. Which is about there. And then we're going to go indicated airspeed. Which is then going to lower the nose. Speed is increasing already. It seems to be very slippery, this plane, so I'm actually going to get some of the air brake out. You can see the air brake sticking out at the back there. There she goes. Right then, chats. So we're on our way down. What we need to do is just tune a few things. So we are going to tune the localizer initially. We'll have that on nav 1. That's going to be 110.3. Like so. That is tuned in on nav 1. And then we'll set the inbound course to 263 degrees. There we go. And then on nav 2, we'll set the Jersey VOR, so that's 112.2. Okay, so we're inbound Chubb. Let's just have a look on the chart, make sure we know where we are. Okay, I actually read the approach wrong, didn't I? We're doing the 1 Lima, apparently. Have I put the wrong approach in on the... Yes, okay, so it said 1 Juliet on my flight plan, but I've put 1 Lima in on the FMS. So that is why... Okay, oh dear. That's why I didn't trust this this distance here on the FMS. Okay, that's what's confused me there. Okay, that's fine. No worries. I tell you what we'll do is once we get to Chubb, we'll take a we'll do a direct in towards Jersey, just to cut down on the distance there because we've already started our descent now. So I think that'll work for us. Oopsie daisies. We'll tune the Jersey VOR, like I say, on 112.2, which is tuned. We'll set this outbound course here that we're going to fly outbound, and that's 124. You can see the Jersey VOR is now identified at 57 miles. There's zero traffic here on VATSIM, so don't need to worry about cutting off a little bit of the arrival route there to the final approach or the initial fix. So 124 is set. So what we're going to do is once we arrive inbound the Jersey VOR, we're going to use the heading bug to turn us outbound, and then we're going to go Vorlock. 8.5 miles from the ILS DME. We'll take a left turn inbound. That should be pretty straightforward. We don't even need to use Vorlock. We can probably just use heading mode to do this bit. And one thing I didn't know earlier is base turn restricted to 185 knots. So we'll need to make sure we're slowed down, and we'll also extend some flaps at that point as well. Great stuff. Okay. So we're all set up for the arrival then. No worries at all. Holding 250 knots quite nicely at idle power. What we need to do as well is we should have put this already to descent. Now, you can see the engines are actually going to... Are the engines going to spool up? It says 60% N1 here. Let's see what happens if I just put the power up. and then pull it back. Okay, no, that's fine. No worries at all. Ah, okay, there we go. So, what's it going to do? Okay, interesting. So, my thoughts on this, sorry, my understanding of this was this descent mode was that when you pull the power to idle in a descent, as long as you have this descent mode enabled, it's going to allow the engines to run at a certain a minimum power setting in order to maintain the pressurization and the air conditioning of the aircraft. But it seems to have done that just fine regardless of that setting. Oh, it's quite warm in the cabin, isn't it? Holy. Let's cool it off a bit. "24 degrees in there. You guys must be roasting." Right then. This is a great plane, but I hope they develop the Avro RJ100 out of it. I mean, isn't that the same plane? I don't know about the Avro RJ100, to be honest. Nerd6 says the autopilot sync function in this plane to let you set the exact climb descent profile you want is one of my favorite things about it. Yeah, it's pretty cool, that. It is pretty cool. It definitely makes it a lot easier than just faffing around with, you know, the pitch up and down here. Makes things a lot easier. We'll put the TCAS to below now as well. Right, we're below 10,000 feet as well, so we'll get the landing lights on. We are descending a bit quick here as well, so I'm actually going to pull in the air brake. And we are nearly at Chubb. Should be able to see Guernsey just out the window to the left. There's Guernsey. And we have really descended quite well here, so I think what I'm going to do, just to kind of keep us at idle for a bit longer, is I'm going to hit sync, and I'm going to just pull up the nose slightly. And bleed off a bit of speed, so we get to about 220 knots here. Just looking at this scale right here for the speed. And I'm going to resync it there. Oops. I think I need to put the sync on a different button because it just seems to be a bit funky for me. This button that I've got it on, it just seems to accidentally do different commands when I don't want it to. Right, there we go, 220 knots, and we are 2 miles from Chubb. So I'm going to go ahead and give us a direct to Jersey. And you can see it has got this outbound leg as well in the FMS. But I'm not going to do it that way, just to add a bit more fun to the flight. It's Jersey. Sorry, that's Guernsey, and then we've got Jersey, I think, in the background here, maybe? I might be wrong. Or maybe over here. 30 miles to the Jersey VOR, so we definitely descended too early then, but obviously we know why that was now. It was because of obviously our I selected the wrong arrival in the FMS here, so that's my boo-boo. All right, let's do our descent and approach checklist. I'm definitely a bit late at doing that. We'll get the METAR for Jersey. QNH is 1026, and that is set. We'll put the PTU on. I'm not sure why I asked for the PTU on, but not the AC pump to auto. I'll put the AC pump to auto anyway. Pressurization is set. Cabin temperature's come down a bit nicely as well there. And the cabin altitude is actually level at the moment at about 3,000 feet. Briefing is complete. Landing data is checked and the bugs are not set. We'll do that now. Is that correct? Okay, we're about to level off. 1,000 feet to go. Do you have to have your flaps selected for this to work? I think you do. Okay, approach checklist. Altimeters are set and cross-checked. Fasten seatbelts. A bit late on that as well. APU we can start. Brake fans are in auto still. Fuel panel is set. Cabin is warned. Steep approach is not required. Radio altimeter is set to... Actually, no, it's not. We'll set that to 200. And on the first officer side, we'll set that to 200 for the DH. And anti-ice is not required. Approach checklist complete. Cabin is secure for landing. Beautiful stuff. Brake temperature looking okay as well. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Speed's going to start bleeding off now as we're leveling off. So I'm going to get a bit of power back in. Might actually just speed up a little bit here as well. I definitely find it's much easier to see if you're accelerating or not by looking at this rather than looking at this. Wood is cool. Welcome to the chat. I hope you're doing well. Welcome, welcome. 24 degrees is 75 Fahrenheit. That's a nice cool temperature. 24 degrees is pretty toasty for inside, is it not? (24°C). Steen, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. It's really difficult to make a KISS landing with this thing. Well, I'm going to try it today, hopefully. Echo, welcome to the chat. Hope you're doing well. You guys have all tuned in. A fantastically good time. We're all set and ready to do a landing here. 10 miles to go to the Jersey VOR. Definitely descended a bit too early here on this flight, but nevertheless, something always goes wrong. You guys should know this by now if you've seen my streams before. There's the airports. 7 miles to go. Should be viewable out the right-hand side window now. There it is. Beautiful. Okay, so once we get to about 5 miles from the VOR, I am going to... Well, I'm going to pull the power back initially. We are approaching 250 knots there. We'll bug 220 now. There we go, about 5 miles. Let's go sync our heading bug up, which it already is, and we'll go to heading. And then we'll switch our nav source to nav. And we're going to use nav 2 initially for the outbound radial from the VOR. I can actually bring this up and show you guys. It's so difficult to read this. Oops, I've not pressed it properly, have I? There it is. Okay, so we're going to make a turn outbound of Jersey and then an inbound turn at 8.5 miles. So it's going to be a slight right turn. The VOR should get blocked. There we go. We'll go Vorlock. That's just going to turn us outbound nice and easy. We'll come back on the power. We need to be down at 185 knots for that left turn. And because someone was saying that I was cheating by having the aircraft on here, let's just get rid of it. Someone was saying that yesterday. Okay, so let's bug 185 knots. It's quite difficult to see, but it's about there. And we want 8.5, is it 8.5 miles? Yep. And that's from the ILS, though. So 8.5 miles is there, so we'll turn left now. We'll come to nav 1, which is the ILS. I was looking at this DME for the ILS, by the way, if you were wondering what I was looking at there.
Speed checked below 205. Select flaps 18.
Flaps 18 selected.
5. Select gear down.
And gears coming down. And we need to swing ourselves all the way around now.
Speed checked below 180. Select flaps 24.
Flaps 24 selected. Power's coming back in now, as we're getting a bit slow. These flaps have a lot of drag. And then we're going to start down on the ILS at about 5.5 miles. So we've got plenty of room here to intercept. Right, all right.
Localizer armed.
Well, arm the localizer. You can see the bars coming in now. Localizer is captured. And we'll arm the glide slope as well.
Glide slope armed.
Great stuff. Okay, so we'll do our landing checklist. AC pump is in auto. Landing gear is down, 3 greens. Lights are as required. Flaps, we'll set those for landing as we come on. Airframe anti and de-ice we don't have on anyway. APU air and PAX. APU air is on and PAX will put pack 1 on. Engine air will put off. And nose wheel steering is centered. Landing checklist complete. Wow, you do need a lot of power in this thing to keep the speed up when you've got the flaps out. It's quite crazy. You see the runway just top left. Okay, and when we get to the top of the glide slope, which should be in about a mile, we will start 5.5. Yep. So in about 0.8 of a mile, we'll start getting the final landing flaps out. Do I have scenery of Jersey? Yes, I've got the UK2000 airport. Glide slope is alive. There we go.
Glide slope captured.
Glide slope is captured.
Established on the ILS. Speed jet below 170. Select flaps 30.
Flaps 30 is selected. We'll come back on the power now. There's a cloud just covering the runway there. Quite difficult to see. Okay, and we'll go to our final stage of flap. Alright then, chats, let's do this. So, autopilot disconnected. We are a little bit high at the moment. Going back on the power. I don't think we're going to need the air brake to slow down on the final approach here. Ooh. I feel like we're getting quite a few gusts from somewhere. Five hundred is checked. We're stabilized. Continue. We're going to get a glide slope warning just now. There we go. That's fine. We are a little bit slow, but I'm going to go for it. We're absolutely fine.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Ground idle.
We're down. Air brake is out. Lift spoilers are out. Onto the brakes.
80 knots.
There we go. Not bad at all, chats. Let's go. There we have it.
Yellow and green spoilers.
Okie dokie. Lovely stuff. Get the taxi lights on. And we'll get the strobe lights. Oh god, hang on. Seven out of 10. Hey, I didn't think that was too bad, to be honest. I think that was at least an 8. Come on. Strobe lights are on. Okay, after landing checklists. Speed brakes and spoilers are in. Flaps are up. Lights and strobes taxiing off. TMS, we'll turn that off as well now. Weather radar is off. Transponder, we can put... I'll put that to standby as well. It's only a small airport here. Engine anti-ice is off. Continuous ignition is off. After landing checklist complete. Alright, chat. Not too bad. Not too bad, considering that was my 3rd landing in this thing. We didn't bounce today though, which was nice. We didn't bounce. But we couldn't really butter it here because you have to remember, Jersey, very, very small runway. So you can't really be floating down the runway. 198 feet per minute, 120 knots. That's bang on that. Right, so we're just going to taxi straight forwards, I think, and then pull in at one of these gates on the left here. So this is Jersey. This is the UK2000 Scenery. Quite a nice one, if you ask me, actually. Personally, I didn't rate UK2000 Scenery too much after seeing some reviews on it, but... after actually looking at it for myself, I think this one is actually quite worth it. Jersey, of course, one of FlyBe's old bases. It looks like there is actually a marshaller at this stand here, so I think we'll come in at this stand. Oh no, there isn't. My bad. Is there a marshaller at this next stand? I think there might be. Let's try that one. Maybe not. Maybe not. Definite improvement on yesterday. Nephilius, welcome to the chat, dude. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Oops. Taxi lights off. Oh my god, my controls are all over the shop today. It is quite nice to handle on the ground though. Like, I mean, the braking and the accelerating is quite nice on the ground with this aircraft. It's quite easy to control. It's just the turning that I find is a little bit weird and cartoony. But there we go, chat. Welcome to Jersey. Let's get the engines powered down. We'll get the seatbelt signs off. Get the generators off. And the fuel pumps off. Get the heaters off as well. AC pump can actually stay on for now. And the PTU are off. Engine 2 and engine 3 pumps off. We'll come down here and we'll open the forward passenger door. Forward cargo, aft cargo, and the stairs. We'll also connect to the ground power and get the chocks in place. Right, right. Passengers can now deboard the aircraft and we shall do the parking checklist. So, shutdown checklist even. Parking brake is on. Check the 3000 PSI, which we have. Taxi lights are off. Pressurization, confirm depressurized, which it is. Hydraulics are all off. Well, actually, no, they're not, because we turned on the AC pump to let down the stairs. But the hydraulics are now all off. Generators 1 and 4 both off and reset. Thrust levers, fuel off. Master warning system ground operations. Pull that. Fasten seatbelts are off. Brake fans are not on and probably not required, actually. Let's see. Oh, okay, maybe they are, but we're not doing a turnaround, so it doesn't matter. Let's just not look at that. Fuel pumps off except left inner. I actually already turned them all off. So, funnily enough, the APU is actually still running despite that fact. We can put the AC power on now, though. External AC, APU generator can come off, and we'll stop the APU generator. APU air off and the packs off as well. Heaters are all off. Ice detection we can turn off as well. Beacon lights is off as well. Transponder is already standby. Doors and equipment open as required. There we go. So we might as well do the leaving the aircraft one as well today, because we are doing a full shutdown here. So main oxygen valve will turn off here, and we'll turn off here and here. Master switches all off. Oh. Master switches all off. Brake fans can come off as well. Anti-skid and lift spoilers all off. There we go. Cabin emergency lights off. No smoking can come off as well. Packs and APU air all off. Ground test APU overspeed. Interesting. That passes. APU check RBM and TGT decrease. Okay, APU master stop. Interesting. I suppose maybe you're supposed to press that while the APU is still on. Okay. Fuel pumps are all off. Galley switch to sheds. External and internal lighting all off. Nav lights can come off. And entry lights. That's all we turned on, really. Battery 1 and 2 both off, and that is the leaving the aircraft checklist complete. And of course the external power can come off as well. There we go, chat. Lovely stuff. Welcome to Jersey. This is, like I say, is UK2000 Jersey. Quite nice looking, actually. We're not going to do a full tour of it today because I just don't have time, but we will be doing a departure from here in the next stream with FlyBe again. But there we go, chat. So I hope you guys enjoyed that today. We're going to have a quick look at the landing report on SimToolkitPro before we head out. Can never get the horizon straight. There we go. Okay, cool. So let's have a look at SimToolkitPro real quick, and we'll see what the landing report is saying. Right, so landing report 1.10G, so much better than yesterday. Landing rate is 198 feet per minute, and landing speed was 120 knots. Now, you guys may remember our landing speed was supposed to be 121 knots, so that's more or less bang on there. And then let's see how we did for centerline and touchdown zone. I think we were a little bit left of centerline, if I remember correctly, but I'm pretty sure we got touchdown zone, no problem at all. Yep, so just after the 1,000-foot markers, well within the touchdown zone there. Pretty good, really. And then centerline deviation 3 feet to the right. So we were actually basically on the centerline as well. So perfectly done, more or less. And yeah, actually really, really happy with that landing. It wasn't a greaser, but again, short runway. We actually didn't slow down until we more or less got to here. So yeah, can't really float too long in this on this short runway. So yeah, really happy with that, actually. I hope you guys enjoyed that flight. I certainly did. It went much smoother today than it did yesterday. So we shall leave it there. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Ian, thank you very much for tuning in. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Darren, thank you very much. Manical, hello, mate. I hope you're doing well, mate. Good to see you. Thank you very much, dude. Thank you very much, Steen, for upping your score there. I'm so flattered. Thank you very much, dude. Game is so smooth. What is your configuration? If you go exclamation point, actually no, I don't think the commands actually work. I set up some commands earlier. Yeah, doesn't seem to work. I will just quickly find a link to a video where I showed my graphics settings yesterday. Oh, okay. It's not working on Twitch either, so something must have gone wrong there. Let me just see if I can fix this real quick whilst we're still online. Oh, there we go. It's just the bot was turned off completely. Smart. Right. Okay, then. Maybe it works now. So if you go exclamation point graphics in the chat. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'll have to look into that. But anyway, here's a clip to my graphics settings. And then my specs for my PC are in the description of the video. Guys, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for tuning in as ever. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your Thursday. I'll catch you again potentially sometime over the weekend. Other than that, that's going to be all from me. Thank you very much again, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye for now. This is awkward. There we go. See you later, guys.